What's up, guys? My name's Cody, and this is another UFC betting breakdown. This time for UFC 272, we got Colby Covington taking on Jorge Masvidal, and we also got RDA fighting Renato Moicano stepping in on short notice. And there's a bunch of other fights on this card I'm really excited for. Another pay-per-view. Super excited for this one, man. I cannot wait to get into it. Before we do, leave a like on the video, leave a comment. Make sure you're subscribed. 12 to 6 elbow that notifications button so you don't miss my next video. I got UFC 4 videos, fight night videos. We drop DMF tournaments and fight cards, which is where we get the best fight night players and UFC 4 players. Every Sunday, they battle it out on my Twitch stream. Then we put it up here on YouTube afterwards. So 1 through 11 is already on here. We got more being uploaded every day. Make sure you check those out. Make sure you have those notifications on so you don't miss it. And I appreciate everybody coming through. Make sure you leave a comment. Let me know what bets you're taking. And come through on Saturday. Watch the fights with us. We're going to be live on my Twitch stream. The link is going to be in the description below. So make sure you go over there. Come hang out with us on Saturday. Let's win some money. Make some bets. Watch the fights. Have fun. Last thing before we get into it. Last week, man, just terrible luck. We had Serkinov looking great. It was looking like it was going to be an easy cash bet for us. He gasses out, gets submitted. And then in that Islam fight, man, I really thought, even though it was one-way traffic, the stoppage was a little early. I thought it looked like Bobby was going to give up his back, get subbed. Then we would have cashed that Arman and Islam sub or decision. Gregory lose the decision is what it is. You know, I knew the McKinney fight could go like that, but I just knew if Zion won, it was going to be by decision. So you like that plus 300. Couple bad bounces, but it is what it is. Let's get this streak going again. We still had a lot of great picks, great breakdowns last week. Just a couple bad bounces as far as the bets that we chose. Let's get back on the winning streak. Let's kick it off with the first fight of the night. We got Dustin Jacoby taking on Michael Olynyk. Mess his name up every time we break him down. In his last fight, you might remember he fought Shamil Gazmatov, and man, it was kind of one way in that fight. You know, Mikhail, he really just uses the hands. He likes to back you up with pressure and really just uses boxing. One thing I do think in this fight, you know, Dustin Jacoby, obviously a high-level kickboxer, came from kickboxing, has just only been in the UFC for a short time. I believe this is his, fourth? Fifth. Yeah. So he's had 5 UFC fights. Came in against, that's right, Justin Ledet. And then had that Maxim Grishin fight, which wasn't super impressive. It was all right. You know, the Darren Stewart fight was a pretty good matchup. John Alon, you know, you would have thought he'd been able to get him out of there. But, you know, at least, you know, gets the dominant win, does what he should. Coming in as a 2-1 favorite in this, you know. I do think that, you know, if Michael was smart, he'd mix in a little bit of grappling. But it's just not something we see from him a lot. You know, he really just likes to throw hands. And he doesn't throw a lot of kicks either. So on the feet, I just feel like Dustin Jacoby's going to be able to chop him with that leg kick. And I think it's his, like, he should be the favorite. I think he could outstrike Olynyk off his back foot in this fight, using his leg kicks, just using the fact that, you know, he's willing to throw kicks, especially those leg kicks, which are some of his bread and butter. But, you know, Mikhail, he just doesn't throw any kicks at all. He doesn't really throw or shoot a lot of takedowns. I just see him kind of charging at Jacoby with hands, and I really feel like that's a good matchup for Jacoby to just counter strike, keep him at kick range, you know, keep it on the feet, and just be the better, more technical striker. So I'm going to go Dustin Jacoby. I'm going to take Jacoby by decision, and let's move on to the next fight. Next up, we got Ludovic Klein stepping up, coming up to lightweight, usually at featherweight, to take on Devontae Smith. And Devontae Smith is going to have a bit of a size advantage. I am looking forward to seeing the weigh-in on this one. Couple inches taller, a little longer. And they're both pretty damn jacked. So he's going to have a bit of a size advantage. You know, Klein, I did fade in that Trezano fight and made some good money in that. And then again in that Nate Landwehr fight. So I've been making money fading Klein. And that's just because, I always liked, Klein. He came in to the UFC back-to-back head kick knockouts. Got another head kick knockout against Shane Young in his debut. And, I mean, his head kicks in general, he's super explosive. His kicks are really high level. He's a knockout artist. And you could see how that could be a problem for Smith, who's been knocked out several times, But Klein only been finished twice by submission. Smith, not really a guy who's going to be looking for a lot of submissions. We saw Jamie Malarkey kind of, in the first round of the Smith fight. It was pretty close. I thought Smith was looking good. Smith won the first round. But at the end, you saw Malarkey kind of take the momentum. You saw him put Devontae on his back. And then when the second round came out, it was just like, I don't know. You could tell the fight, the momentum had shifted. And Malarkey was able to put him out. And then obviously in the in Devontae Smith's fight against Karma Worthy, we saw him come in as like a 10-1 favorite against a former training partner. Looked a little frozen. Maybe the fact they were training partners fucked him up, but gets put out. Not a good loss, and we definitely see that he might not be the most durable guy. So could Klein knock him out? Definitely. If he hits him with one of those ridiculous head kicks, he's gonna put him out. But overall, I do think that Smith's the bigger guy. They're both clean strikers. I think Smith's got a slightly better hands. I think Smith's got the better volume. I really think Klein's gonna have to knock him out. I'm gonna go Smith here, but his chin does scare me a little bit. You got to think 28 years old at Factory X. Being the bigger, longer, taller guy, better two strikers. He should have some advantages here, but that chin does scare me a little bit. I will go Devontae Smith. I'll take him by decision as well, but don't love it. Next up, we got Tim Elliott taking on Taguir Ulembekov, and Taguir, man, he's coming in as a minus 255 favorite, and against a veteran like Tim Elliott, and I didn't love the Lon Nascimento fight. I had money on Ulembekov, and I didn't think it needed to be a split. I thought Ulembekov did win, but it got a little dicey. Nascimento putting him in several submissions, Ulembekov having to fight his way out. And we know Tim Elliott does have some high-level submissions. He gets submitted himself a lot, but he does have some submissions himself. He's a sneaky veteran. So could he catch Taguir in something? It's definitely possible. On the feet, Tim is super unorthodox. He's like a Walmart Dominic Cruz, I always say. But, and I don't mean no disrespect because I do love Tim Elliott. But, definitely super unorthodox, but I would give the overall technical striking advantage to Ulembekov. And then obviously I give the wrestling advantage to Ulembekov. It's just a matter of, who's got the better gas tank. And Ulembekov can take him down. Can he control him? Can he stay out of submissions? I do think that at plus 200 I can understand why you would take a shot. The reason I'm not going to is when you really look, and again, I guess before I should say this, I should go through Taguir. Nascimento, Bruno Silva, Matos, Arujo, he's not fighting these fight nights, global, regional scene, that's pretty tough matches, but, still hasn't fought a lot of notable names. Tim Elliott has fought a lot of top guys when you look at who he's losing to, Mateus Nicolau, tough guy, Brandon Royval, Askar Askarov, Davison Figueiredo, Demetrius Johnson, Joseph Benavidez, Ali Bagatinov, John Dodson. He's fought a lot of tough guys, but when you look at his recent history, he's losing every time he gets those step ups. He can beat the Jordan Espinosas, the Ryan Benoits, the Mark De La Rosas, the Louis Smokas. Let's be real, some of the lowest level guys in the division. But when he gets that step up, Figueiredo, Askarov, Royval, Nikolai, he loses. So is Ulembekov, which category is he gonna rest in? I do think at the end of the day, is it a little sketchy? Is the line a little wide? Maybe, but I think he falls closer to the Nikolais and maybe not the Figgies and Askarovs, but I do think he's better than the guys who Tim Elliott's been able to beat lately. Obviously, I don't love betting against Glory MMA. James Krause, a great coach. They're gonna have a good game plan. He's got hella experience, but I'm going to go Taguir. I do have him locked in a parlay from someone later on in the card. I did that pretty early in the week. I'm not going to lie. As the weeks played out, I'm like, oh, man, Tim Elliott is a crafty dog. But, I do think Ulembekov gets it done. It's his fight to lose, but I get it. If you're taking a shot, I can understand for some reasons why you would. Next up, we got Umar Nurmagomedov taking on Brian Kelleher. And man, I won't spend too much time on this because I do love Brian Kelleher, but at the end of the day, man, and that line's it's even worse now. I think he's like 9-1 Umar is. And man, it's like I get it. I'm really high on Umar Nurmagomedov for sure. Super. I think he's one of the most promising people out of that Nurmagomedov, Eagle camp. So far it's been pretty much just perfection. Beat Murazov by rear naked choke. Maybe not a lot of names you would know, but over at PFL, GFC, Fight Nights Global, he fought Said Jacob, who we saw recently, is super legit. Obviously still young in his career, only 26, only has 13 fights, but still undefeated, looks perfect so far. Against Brian Kelleher, Brian Kelleher's got big power for bantamweight, and he also has a really nasty guillotine. But other than that, man, I don't see a lot of ways he can win this fight. I really don't see him winning the fight besides landing a big right hand or snatching up a guillotine. Other than that, Umar's got the more weapons on the feet. He's got the better wrestling. He's got the better jiu-jitsu, the better overall grappling. I think he's got a better gas tank, even though Kelleher's gas tank's not bad. Kelleher's been using his grappling lately to get his wins, but that's just not going to be on the table against Umar. And I just think Umar takes him down, probably submits him, but in the very least, he's going to be able to control him. There's just a grappling discrepancy here, and Brian Kelleher's basically got guillotine or a big right hand, otherwise it's a bust. So I definitely got Umar. I have any money on him yet. The line's just too ridiculous. I probably won't bet it, but if you're betting Brian, I get it, guillotine or a big right hand, but other than that, I just don't see it. So I'm going to go Umar Nurmagomedov. I'm going to go Nurmagomedov by sub, and let's move on. Next up, we got the first grudge match on the card. We got Marina Maros taking on Mariana Agapova. And some of you might remember, these girls used to train together a little bit. Maros talked a gang load of shit, talking about how basically Agapova threatened to stab people at the gym. She, crashed her car on drugs and, all this crazy shit. Who knows? I wasn't there. I don't like to speak on a ton of shit that who knows how much of it's true. But at the end of the day, these girls got a lot of beef. Agapova's super fun to watch. Is she going to be able to control herself? Because you saw in the Shayna Dobson fight where she, lost as one of the biggest favorites in UFC history. Dobson, pretty low-level girl, but Agapova went in there. She knew she was a ridiculous favorite. She went in there. She tried to take her fucking head off. And she looked good in the beginning as I collect a little bit of wax for this mid-card dab rip that's becoming a tradition on here. She looked good early, Agapova. Her style is super fun to watch, and, I get why a lot of people on Twitter and online love her, because she's super fun to watch. But, overall, it's just like, this fight scares me a little bit for her, especially, because she has, the hype's died down a little bit, but, I think this matchup could get a little dicey just for the fact that, these girls have a lot of, animosity. And is Agapova going to be able to control herself? As I just look up the new odds, because I was like, wait a second, is this really how it opened up? Because I didn't remember seeing that line, but I think that's actually a mistake, because everywhere I've seen Agapova has been like around a 2-1 favorite in this fight. So I don't know if Tapology just got this wrong because it's about exactly the other way, or if on some sort of book it opened up that way. But I'm pretty sure that's wrong. Agapova's around a -215 favorite, and it's been like around there the whole time. And I get it. I get why she'd be the favorite. In her last fight, she looked good. The striking's clean. Even the grappling, maybe the takedown defense, I don't know. But how much takedown defense is she going to need to beat Maros? I don't think Maros is some great wrestler. And Agapova, I do think, has the more power. She's the more finishing threat. It's just going to be can Agapova contain herself so she doesn't gas out like she did in that Dodson fight. Because when she's fresh, man, she's dangerous. She hits hard. She's quick. She's explosive. She's 24 years old, though, and it clearly is a extreme hothead. And can she, can she contain herself? Because if she can, I do think she should get this done. She's a cleaner striker. I think this play going to play out on the feet a good amount. I don't think the grappling discrepancy is too big to where, if Maros does get her down, it's going to just be game over. And I wouldn't rule out the fact that Agapova could get on top at some point. I do think it's going to play out mostly on the feet. Agapova is going to land the bigger strikes, and I'm going to take Agapova by decision. I do think a TKO is possible if they come out there and just say fuck it and just bite down on the mouthpiece. But I'm going to go Agapova by decision. It is scary, though, knowing what we know about Agapova. And after seeing her choke as a big favorite already. But I will take her, and let's move on to the next fight. Next up, we got Nick Negumereanu taking on Kennedy and Jacoby. And, Kennedy in his last fight, man, definitely not great. The one thing we always tout about Kennedy is he's super durable. We saw him in the Carlos Ulberg fight. Just absolutely took punishment. And then, basically once Ulberg slowed down, he just, worked his way back in the fight and took over and finished him. One thing, you don't love to see at light heavyweight is he just loves to shell up, and it works against Ulberg, who so far hasn't shown a ton of power. But, against Negumereanu, you don't want to just shell up. That's a 220-something pound man on fight night. And he's not a technical striker like Ulberg. He's, he just throws meat hooks. He's going to try to take your head completely off. And if you just shell up, I could see Nick, landing a big shot and putting him out. Because we have seen Kennedy, get dropped by, like we've seen that chin get cracked now. And if Jung can do it, Negumereanu can definitely do it. Is he as clean of a striker? No. But does he have the power? Yes. I think he hits harder. So, in this fight, though, I do think Kennedy's going to have a bit of a grappling advantage. I just don't see him taking Nick down unless Nick were to completely gas. And, we haven't really seen that lately. Definitely Nick can be a little bit sloppy, but I just feel like this is going to play out on the feet. I don't see Kennedy, really getting after takedowns. So it's really going to be about, can he just, stay long? He's got that 83-inch reach. I do think that he's the more technical striker. But, I just haven't loved what I've seen from him so far. And, I do think Jung's a little better than people get credit for. But I just feel like, in this fight, Kennedy's not going to use head movement. He's not going to go out here. I mean, he is at Fortis MMA. He's 29. I'm sure he's getting better at 29 for a light heavyweight. It's pretty damn young. But, man, I don't know. I mean, you go through Nick's last couple fights. And, they're not against the highest level opponent. But Ike Villanueva. And then the Kamir fight, which was pretty sloppy, pretty ugly. But, kids definitely hits hard. And if Kennedy's plan is to just, shell up and get Nick tired, I think he could definitely get knocked out. But overall, I will go with the cardio side. I will go with the better volume. I'll go with the better grappler overall. I'm going to go with Kennedy. I'm going to take him by decision. But I am scared, and I will not be betting this, because I do think if he just shells up, if he goes with that type of game plan, we're going to see Nick just club his guard and rock him, put him down, TKO him. I'll go Kennedy by decision, but it's a little scary. And that brings us halfway through. You know what time it is, boys and girls? Oh, it's time to run out of butane. So hold on. Let me grab the butane. Because I'm not going out like that. Maybe if I would have known there was no butane in it, we would have had a real good excuse as to why we're not getting no mid-card dab. But I'm not going out like that now, so I'm just going to keep saying shit that doesn't even matter and talking, because so there's no white noise, you know what I mean? And the butane is in the torch. Now, as I take a dab. Shout out to the DMF boys. If you want to sign up, come through. Sign-ups are open. It's not too late. This Sunday, 11 a.m. that first stab of the day gets you. But let's move into this next fight. We got Marina Rodriguez. Wait, I didn't miss any betting that I already have, right? Nope, I don't have anything on Umar yet. Line's a little too wide. I do have Ulembekov parlay with somebody later on the card. We'll get into it. Speaking of bets, let's move into this one. I don't love betting women's MMA when it's lower level, but this is middling to high. It gets into the allowed territory for me. And we got Marina Rodriguez taking on Yajao Nan. And Yan in her last fight, winning there against Carla Esparza, definitely shown, okay, let's come back to reality a little bit. She was definitely on a run. She had a solid 10-fight win streak. But, and yeah, she was able to take Karolina Kowalkiewicz down. But Karolina's, you look at how the run she's been on lately, it gets, I think she was a little checked out at that point. When I saw that, I thought she was going to have a chance in this fight because the key to beating Marina Rodriguez is taking her down. But when I went back, and that was the one fight, because I remember the Claudia fight, I just did tape for that for the Carla fight, and obviously just saw the Carla fight. So the one fight I went back and rewatched was the Karolina. I was like, let's see these takedowns. But Karolina just looks completely checked out. Like, and it wasn't like Jan was out there like shooting beautiful takedowns. It was like Karolina was just checked out and didn't give a shit. Didn't even care about winning. She was just trying to survive. In this fight, man, she's got to get Marina down, and I just don't have faith that she's going to take her down. And on the feet, Marina's going to throw more volume. She hits harder. She has more weapons. Like, I mean, yeah, she's going to primarily stick to the hands, but I really feel like Marina Rodriguez, man, if you don't take her down, you're in trouble. We saw in the Rebus fight, this girl can crack. And yeah, Mackenzie Dern took her down. Her wrestling sucks. I get it. Everybody's talking about it, but Mackenzie Dern's still a high-level black belt. I get her takedowns and her wrestling's not good, but, like, she's still a professional grappler, like, at the highest level. And, she's able to make a couple crafty takedowns. Was it enough to win the fight? No. So, on the feet, I still think Dern's got better takedowns than Jan, and she's more crafty and more experienced there. Jan's just going to kickbox her, in my opinion. I mean, yeah, maybe she'll come out here and try to shoot a takedown or two, but I just don't see her really going after a wrestling-heavy game plan. And because of that, I got Marina Rodriguez all day. I got Marina Rodriguez probably by decision. She does crack. Could she put Jan out? Yeah, it's possible. But, Jan, decision. Yeah, she got crucifix, and they mercy stopped it against Carla, but, I don't really see Marina, it's possible. Marina, like, if there's any girl, like, at the 115 division who can put you away on the feet, it is Marina. But I am going to say this fight goes to decision. I'll take Marina by decision, but, a KO is possible. I really would be surprised if Jan wins. But I think I need one more dab. I think I need one more little dab-a-roo. For the day, gang. Shout out to everybody coming through. Make sure you come through on Twitch. Yeah, today's crazy hair day, I know. I swear I just cut this mop. Next up, we got Jalen Turner taking on Jamie Malarkey. And, man, this fight's been really, like, I'm really interested in it. And I've also been back and forth. Jalen Turner, like, tail of the tape. Yeah, he's only got an 1.5 inch reach on paper, but he fights long. He's gonna have a decent, length discrepancy when you factor in his height and reach, and also just the way he fights. Like, he fights long for sure, and he's good at fighting long. He's good at keeping you at that range. In this fight, though, obviously lately, the Joshua Kulabau, the Brock Weavers, the Uros Medic, low-level fighters, Yeah, you can finish those guys, and that's good. You went in there and did what you were supposed to do and dominated them. But, we saw in the Matt Frevola fight, this guy can be hit. This guy can be taken down. Obviously, we're going to give him a pass in the Vicente Luque fight. I mean, Jesus Christ, one of the hardest debuts of all time, in my opinion. Like, oh, hey, kid, you good doctor stoppage via broken foot. Welcome to the UFC. Here's Vincente Luque. Jesus Christ, Dana. Fucking A, Sean Shelby. But, I get it. And Jamie Malarkey, speaking of fire Ziam from the other night, I thought Malarkey won that fight. We talked about that the other day. The Brad Riddell fight, I thought he lost. Put up a good fight, competitive, and hard debut himself. But in the Ziam fight, I thought he won that. It wasn't a good look when Ziam reversed him, was on top, landed some ground and pound to end the fight. But Malarkey was able to take him down, was able to grind him. And I do think in this fight, it's definitely possible he could do the same. Yeah, he's been knocked out by Volkanovski, and then in his next fight by Luke Katabig. But since then, he went and trained with Volkanovski, and he's leveled up a lot. He's lost those two good decisions, one of which I didn't think he lost. But the guy's tough as shit. He's super durable. And is he a high-level wrestler? No, but this dude's jacked, man. Like, yeah, Turner's going to have the height and reach, but Malarkey's pretty jacked, man. For lightweight, he's 6 foot himself, and, pretty big frame for the division. And I do think, he's still got a great chin. Yeah, he got finished those 2 times, but, like, that was Volkanovski, the champ, one of the best featherweights of all time. And early in his career, when Volkanovski was already coming into his own, too. And, a while ago. And I think since then, he's really leveled up. And he's not great anywhere, but he's good everywhere. And if Jalen Turner, if he gets tired after that first round, like, I think the first round, Jalen Turner's going to style on him. Because Jamie Malarkey's not the most athletic. He's not the quickest. He's not the fastest. He's not the hardest hitting. A guy like Jalen Turner is going to be, when he's fresh, he's going to beat Jamie up. But in that second, you could see Jamie, if he's able to close the distance, get in tight, be all the way out or all the way in, get all the way in, take Jalen down. I do think Jalen's got the better jiu-jitsu. I think he's the better grappler. But I think Jamie can land the takedowns and get on top. And I don't think Jalen, I wouldn't want to bet Jalen if off his back. Like, does he have the better overall jiu-jitsu than Jamie? I would probably lean towards yes. But you don't want to be on your back in MMA, man. And I don't think he's going to be taking Jamie down. I think if anybody gets a takedown, it's going to be Jamie. So that definitely gives me cause for concern. That height and reach can work against you. That 6'3", them skinny legs will work against you. I know firsthand as a grappler. I love when a guy's that tall. I mean, yeah, certain positions like in the clinch, certain positions, especially when you can use the cage, that height can work against you. Or that height can work for you as the taller man. But, if you can get to those legs, if you can get underneath their hips, a tall guy like that, they're light. Their legs are light. You pick them right up, put them on your shoulder. They're going to feel like a baby. Now, John Jones has something to say right now. But I'm just saying, some tall guys like that are good at using their height, good at using that leverage, and good at, like, keeping their feet on the ground and really sprawling and staying heavy. But if you can get underneath a tall guys like that hips, 9 times out of 10, man, if you got some decent wrestling, you're taking them down. And we need to bump his numbers up. Overall, I feel like Jalen's the more skilled guy. And early on, he's going to be landing good shots. But I am tempted at the underdog price on Jamie Malarkey for the fact that he's hard to put away. He's tough as shit. And he's going to be able to land takedowns if he really wants to. Can he stay on top? Can he avoid the sweeps of Jalen Turner? I don't know that part yet. We're going to have to find out. But, it's a little scary to take Jalen as a favorite right now. We have seen him. He's very hittable. We have seen he can be taken down. I think this is a 50-50 fight, man. I'm going to lean Jalen Turner just because at the end of the day, I do think on the feet, he should be able to snipe Jamie a little bit on the outside. And he does have good jiu-jitsu to hit a sweep, to threaten a submission to get back to his feet, to close that gap a little bit. So I do think I understand him being a slight favorite. But, anything over minus 130, it just seems a little steep. So I do got Jalen Turner, but this is a close fight, man. I think Jamie Malarkey's very underrated. So give me Jalen Turner. Give me Jalen Turner by decision. And let's move on. Next up, we got Sergey Spivak taking on Greg Hardy. And, man, Greg Hardy on the fucking pay-per-view again. And, people can change. I don't like to, sit here and be part, contribute to the cancel culture. But I don't fucking like this guy. And I really wish that fucking, he could stop getting on the pay-per-view when the motherfucker's 4-4 against low-level competition. Fucking, and he's he former football player, 6'5", fucking 300-pound man. He cuts 30 pounds, admittedly, to make 265. A 300-pound, 6'5" dude who beats the shit out of his girl and is 4-4 in the UFC, and he gets put on pay-per-views. I just, I don't love it. And I'm not going to lie, I'm a little biased, so I try to set that aside because, again, not into that cancel culture shit. I like to leave personal shit like that out, especially when I'm betting money. But it's just, goddamn, it's a little bit hard because he's just, even in his interviews, like, he's talking about Tai Tuivasa, the man who just knocked him out. The man who left him flat as a board. And he's talking about, yeah, he's scared to fight me again. I don't know, some people can't take a punch. I don't know, he's a clown, he's scared. I'm like, he knocked you out. Took a punch. He took your punch. You rocked him. That's literally what happened. He rocked Tuivasa, and then he runs in. Tuivasa knocks him out. He took your punch. You couldn't take a punch, you dumbass. Clearly very gifted athletically, not very gifted intellectually. And, dude's, fucking A. He doesn't do himself any favors in those. But let's set all that aside. In this fight, again, I just said it. In a different world, he would have fought Derek Lewis the other night because Tai Tuivasa would have got knocked out because he had Tai Tuivasa knees buckled. He had him almost out. In a different world, Greg Hardy's right now is on a 4-fight win streak. Yeah, losing to Alexander Volkov, okay, that's nothing, especially by decision. I was actually impressed in that loss by Greg Hardy, So a performance like a loss to Volkov by decision for 5 rounds is more impressive to me than winning a decision over Jorge de Castro. I'm sorry, just, it is what it is. Wins and loss don't exactly, you got to watch the fight. You can't wiki cap this shit. But, if you just look at, Tai Tuivasa knocked him out. Yeah, he almost knocked Tai out, though, and I'm not a fan of his, but it is what it is. Greg Hardy can knock anybody out. He's 6'5", 300 pounds. Sergey Spivak, this guy is fucking, yeah, he's 6'3", he's actually shorter than Greg Hardy, but he definitely has a little bit of that tall man defense. The chin stays up. He does a little of that looking over his shots, backing straight up, chin up. Like, could I see Greg Hardy putting him out? I definitely could. And that's why, spoiler alert, I have Spivak parlayed in with somebody later on this card. Spoiler alert, the same person I have Ulembekov parlayed in, the anchor of my parlays. And then I have it hedged out by Greg Hardy, a little sprinkle on first round KO at plus 600. And then I have a little, even smaller sprinkle at Greg Hardy KO second round at plus 1,000. I do think Spivak wins. I think he can land the takedowns, the ground and pound. He could finish it with ground and pound. He could get Greg's back, rear naked choke him. Or he might just ground him, play it safe for 3 rounds, and win a decision. I wouldn't blame if I was in the fucking locked cage with Greg Hardy, scary fucking... I mean, dude's literally like a legitimate psychopath. I thought it was an act there early on. I was like, oh, he's going with the Prince of War, Mr. fucking... basically just going to be like the guy everybody hates. But now I'm like, oh no, this guy's just extremely fucking unlikable. Like, that's just him. Okay. And, I do think Spivak needs to get the takedowns. If that first round, if 3 minutes go by and Spivak hasn't shot a takedown, I'm going to be just, at least I hedged. I'm going to be like, oh God, here comes a missile. So I do think Spivak gets him down, gets probably a ground and pound finish in the second round. But, overall, the Greg's power, his striking, he was tooling up Marcin Tybura too until Tybura got him down. The grappling discrepancy is going to be there, but could Greg knock him out? He definitely could. But I will take Spivak second round. Actually, I'm going to go rear naked choke. Spivak second round, rear naked choke. Next up, we got Kevin Holland taking on Alex Oliveira. Kevin Holland coming down to 170, what a lot of people think is his natural weight class. And yeah, fuck it. I'm at fuck it points of this on this video. 4 dabs. You know, we're just going to keep them going. I mean, if you come to my Twitch and watch me take 50 on a stream, you're like 4 dabs. That's nothing for you, champ. But, you know, usually I try to go the whole hour and a half of these videos without a dab. But, you know, now I'm just like, you know what? If YouTube wants to fuck up my algorithm for taking dabs on here, we going out like a champ. Anyways, Kevin Holland making this 170 debut, and I think it's going to go well for him, man. I think 170, yeah, it's chock full of wrestlers, but against, you know, the Alex Oliveira's of the 170-pound division, Alex Oliveira, former 55er, would cut entirely too much weight and is now up to 170. Definitely going to be the smaller man, you know. Holland, not just taller and longer, you know, 6'3", he's going to have a 4-inch height advantage, 4.5-inch reach advantage. But aside from that, you know, I just think, yeah, Alex gonna be a little thicker, but I just think overall, you know, Kevin's definitely gonna have a size advantage, and it's gonna play out on the feet. If Alex is smart, yeah, the game plan's out. You try to take Holland down. That's how you beat him, duh. But do I think when's the last time we saw Alex have more than 2 takedowns? It's definitely been at least 5 years since I've seen Alex have, you know, 2 takedowns in a fight. Maybe he'll get a takedown here or there, but like, it's just not what he does. He likes to strike, and you know, he throws for power, and he can get through 3 rounds most times. You know, yeah, he's old, fight years. He's only 34 apparently. You know, wink, wink, wink. Who knows? But apparently he's 34. I swear the guy's 55. But you know, fight years, the man is 55, and you know, I do think on the feet, man, Holland, definitely the slicker striker. I do think he needs to be careful about Alex Oliveira's leg kicks, man. He's got those little toothpick legs, Holland. And Alex does, he's got some good low kicks, some calf kicks. He could definitely chop those legs. But I think if he does, man, he's going to get countered by Holland. Holland's got that ridiculously long right hand, and he'll throw it from southpaw to the straight left. His straight punches are like a piston. And, man, he hasn't had a chance to really use it because people have just been strictly trying to take him down lately. But I really do think this is a good matchup for him. A guy who's going to predominantly strike. And, hey, who knows? Maybe Alex says, fuck all that. I saw the Brunson and Vittori fights. I'm coming out here and with a new fucking, you know, new Oliveira, 33 fights in, 34 fights in. But I'm going to go ahead and say no, that doesn't happen. Oliveira doesn't change, you know, rewrite his style. And they strike it out, and Holland puts him out. I'm going to take Holland, 2nd round TKO. And I know Alex, pretty durable, you know, was put out by Shavkat. Was technically a guillotine, but definitely got clubbed too. But, you know, pretty durable typically, but I'm going to say Holland puts him out, 2nd round TKO. Let's move on. Next up, we got Edson Barbosa taking on Bryce Mitchell. This is another one that I've been really torn on, man. Obviously, what can you say? Edson has fought the who's who. You know, lost to Giga. Was finished in the 3rd round. But, you know, as we've seen, Giga striking. Yeah, you want to grapple him. Yeah, if you can get him tired. But, you know, striking, especially while he's still, you know, until he gets tired. The man is super dangerous. I thought Barbosa won this Ige fight, so he's technically, well, I won't say technically, but he's 3-1 in my book at featherweight. You know, Paul Felder, Justin Gaethje, Dan Hooker, Kevin Lee, Khabib, Beneil, Gilbert Melendez, Anthony Pettis, Tony Ferguson, Paul Felder again, Michael Johnson, Bobby Green, Donald Cerrone, you know, even Evan Dunham, Danny Castillo, like, dude has literally fought everybody. He's fought the much better competition was. Bryce, you know, not only is he fighting lower level guys, I mean, the Andre Fili win was good, but Charles Rosa, no takedown defense. Matt Sales, no takedown defense and no grappling. Bobby Moffitt actually took him down, and he was able to get that done, but what took him down, and, you know, the Tyler Diamond fight was pretty close, too.
he's not fighting really good grapplers, and Barbosa's not a great, I won't say he's a great grappler, but man, people say, oh, Barbosa has no grappling. What do you mean when Kevin Lee and fucking Khabib are taking him down? Like, what? What are you talking about? When Kevin Lee could still make 155 and his big ass was taking Edson Barbosa's down, and fucking, Khabib was taking him down, like, fucking Barbosa's got good grappling. He's not easy to take down. And if Bryce Mitchell can't take him down, bro, Bryce Mitchell's getting finished. Like, I don't think Bryce Mitchell can stay on the feet for 3 rounds with Barbosa, and he's not gonna. Because typically 30 seconds into a fight, Bryce Mitchell's going out there, he's shooting a takedown. He knows what he needs to do. And he's not gonna go out here and try to strike with Barbosa. He's not an idiot. He's seen the highlight reel like everybody else. Barbosa is getting up there, man. 36 at lightweight. He's not young anymore. But in fight years, that is, obviously. But and Mitchell has looked great, and he's coming off the best win of his career, that Feely win, man. He definitely impressed me in that one. Feely does actually have some wrestling, but Feely, yeah, he's at top team or alpha male. I mean, and his wrestling's not bad. He's still got them toothpick legs in that higher center of gravity. Those guys are just naturally easier to take down, man. Especially like with traditional wrestling. Make it 5, a nice solid number. But, he's got to get, this is a classic stylistic matchup. Barbosa has to keep it on the feet. Mitchell has to take him to the ground. Whichever one happens is going to be who wins. I am slightly leaning Mitchell. I do typically side with the grappler in these matchups, especially almost 10 years younger, especially a much fresher guy. Been looking great. Momentum's a thing in the fight game. He's got his momentum's only going up. Barbosa, he's coming to the downswing of his career. Still getting some great performances. Losing to Giga's nothing to ride home about, but it's still momentum's a hell of a thing, and especially when that fight gets close and it gets gritty, you say, I have 10 losses. I lose this fight, nothing's gonna happen. I mean, I will lose half my paycheck, so they all want to win, but they both are thinking that. But Bryce is saying, fuck that. I'm 14-0. I'm 27. I'm trying to get a belt. Barbosa isn't getting a belt. It's not happening. He knows this. He has to know this. In the very least, the doubt's got to be there. When Mitchell's riding high, man. He's 14-0. Confidence is a motherfucker. So I'm not saying obviously that's not something I put first over the actual physical skills, but it is a factor when you're judging a close fight. So I do think Mitchell should be the favorite. Am I wanting to lay minus 155? Not really. I don't know. I feel like it'd be a forced play at that point. I have enough doubt. I can't prove myself beyond a reasonable doubt that Barbosa is going to pull this off, especially at those odds. I don't know. I mean, the odds aren't terrible. If Barbosa was like plus 150, I'd honestly take a shot at Barbosa. But at these odds, it's almost just like a no play for me, at least for right now. Maybe we see the weigh-ins, something swings me to the other side, or the line dips one way or the other. But so far, I got Mitchell ever so slightly, and that's what the line indicates. So I'm going to lay off of it. And now we got the co-main event. We got RDA, Rafael Dos Anjos taking on Renato Moicano. Moicano, friend of the stream. I'm a little biased. I do love the guy, but I do love RDA too. But, RDA, or should I say Moicano first, coming in on short notice, just fought, just looked great. I bet him against Alexander Hernandez. Definitely a fan. Definitely, really, love watching the guy fight. High-level jiu-jitsu. Solid striking, good striking. Striking looked good on Alexander Hernandez. Good gas tank. Just kind of good everywhere with especially good jiu-jitsu. And but I do think RDA is going to make that a tough matchup for him, man, because RDA's got great jiu-jitsu too. And you know what else? Moicano does get on top, but is he going to get on top of RDA? I don't know, man. When I really think about it, like we talked about earlier, Moicano's going to have a hard time getting under RDA to be able to take him down. So he's not really going to be able to, in my opinion, like, you know, single leg him, double leg him. If anything, you'd have to take him down with like a body lock or, you know, where you can actually use your height as an advantage. But, you know, RDA, man, like, yeah, he's getting taken down. Yeah, he is getting up there, you know, 37, almost 37 and a half. And he's been fighting for like damn near 20 years. I get it. But, you know, he's still a little meatball. And it's one thing, yeah, you could say, oh, he gets taken down in every fight. Oh, you're talking about the undersized RDA who went up to 170, now undersized at 170. Let me specify. He's big at 155. But this fight is, as you can see, a catch weight at 160. So it's something you want to keep in mind. It's going to give a slight edge to RDA. Moicano has fought at featherweight. He came up for lightweight only recently. RDA, yeah, he was undersized at a welterweight. He still went up because lightweight was too much. You know, beat Tarek Safdien, beat Neil Magny, a much bigger guy. Like, you know, he's a little skinnier, but man, that's a big guy, bro. Robbie Lawler, fucking, then, you know, Colby, Usman, Leon Chiesa, bro, all those guys have 20 pounds on him. Usman has like 30 pounds on him. You know, like, Chiesa has like 30 pounds on him. Those guys are so much bigger than him. You know, when he fought Paul Felder and Kevin Lee, two other guys his size, he won both those fights. And this should not have been a split. This was not a split decision. That was a dominant win. And this is going to be a guy, not only a lightweight, this is going to be a featherweight. And, you know, I always say, you know, size is not everything at all. But when the skills are close, especially when we got two grapplers. Now, RDA likes to mix it up. He's really just a guy who's just honestly great everywhere. He's not like he has no weaknesses. His only weakness was being undersized. And, you know, I guess, you know, against high-level, elite-level wrestlers, they can take him down. But Moicano's not really that, and he's going to be the taller, you know, RDA's going to have a strength advantage. He's going to be the shorter guy, you know, the lower center of gravity. Moicano's going to have a hard time taking him down, man. I think maybe in the clinch he could get a takedown, but it's going to be tough. And on the feet, I think the striking is going to be really close, but, you know, RDA, like, I think he can land takedowns. Yeah, you got to be careful on the ground with Moicano, but RDA is a high-level black belt too. And I think that he's going to land the more impactful shots. I do lean RDA. I love Moicano. I would not be surprised if he got the win. But I do have RDA parlayed up with... I parlayed him with... Marina Rodriguez right there. Sorry. Whoops. I was looking for. Parlayed Marina Rodriguez and RDA up for like plus 120. It was like plus 118 or something like that. I like that bet. I'm really confident in both of those. I'll tell all my bets at the end because getting into it, spoiler alert, my anchor of my parlays coming up. Main event. Obviously, we got to take that main event dab, and we are coming on the 50-minute line, so it's going to be about an hour-long video. So, you know, that's not too bad. Trying to focus on the fights that you guys care the most about and, you know, not go too long while still giving full breakdowns, because when I try to go too short, then people are like, yo, I actually like the full breakdowns. Trying to find a middle ground. But if you're still here, I appreciate you. Let's get into it, man. The grudge match. Colby Covington versus Jorge Masvidal. Former right-hand man, former teammates, former best friends. Used to live with each other. You know, we've all seen the vlogs. Colby used to dominate him a lot in the grappling. Yeah, that's just grappling. Jorge says he would dominate the striking, which I don't doubt. I'm sure he would. I do think, you know, that is going to be a factor, their history together. I don't think Colby's dumb enough to go in there, there's grudge here. I'm going to stand and bang, bro. No, he's going to shoot. Yeah, we didn't see that super wrestling heavy. He did shoot takedowns in the second Usman fight, and, you know, in my opinion, landed one. Even Usman said it. But shout out to Usman for that. Hella respect the champ. But I think we learned in that fight, man, that we had the two best guys in the world. Colby and Usman are two of the best welterweights of all time. You don't have to like Colby, man. I get it. His character, like, the gimmick he has, it's cringe. It's not for me. But I just, you know, in the octagon, the skills are there, man. The man's pace is unreal. The man's wrestling is super high level. I mean, you look at the shape this man is in fight week this week. I mean, he's always in shape, but I'm like, is it just me or does he look like in the best shape I've ever seen him? I mean, the guy is just absolutely shredded. He's out there running with Cam Hanes, doing marathons and shit. His cardio, he's got that porn star cardio, as he likes to call it. He doesn't get tired. You know, Jorge, you know, I think Jorge's speed early on can give Colby some trouble. I think the first round, maybe the second round, Jorge's speed, especially obviously on the feet, like he's much more explosive. He's going to be much faster. He's got much more experience, you know, like double the fights. You know, obviously he's a better striker. He's a better boxer. He hits harder. But I just feel like Colby's going to nullify all that, man. His wrestling, his cardio. That's my two favorite things as far as if you can pair up. Okay, I'll tell you my triple threat for a guy that I love to bet. Whether I like him as a person, whether I dislike, you know, if we're just talking about who I'd be confident to win the most amount of fights, regardless of their opponent's style. You take a guy who's durable, has cardio, and can wrestle, and I'm going to show you a guy who's going to have a very successful MMA career. Colby Covington is extremely durable. He fought motherfucking scary-ass Kamaru Usman for like 3-4 rounds with a broken jaw. This man, sometimes durability is like, even some KOs, a guy takes a big punch, and they just go down, and they don't know how to take a shot like that. So I'm not knocking them. Like, I get it. I know what it's like to eat a big shot and take a knee. I've done it. I've been fucked up in striking, you know, at the gym. So I know what it's like. I don't blame them, you know. But I'm just saying, you know, like, Colby's the type of, like, durability is, some of it's stuff you can't control. Some of it is just like, hey, who knows? Some people just naturally can take a shot better than others. But there's also a part of it that's just like amount of give no fucksadry. Like, some people, they take a couple, like Donald Cerrone. Let's be real. I love Donald Cerrone, one of the most technical guys. But we've seen he's the kind of guy where if you can put it on him, he gets to a certain point where he eats a shot, he's going to kind of just tuck up. He knows, hey, it's not my night. I'm going to get out of here. I don't knock a fighter for that. You know, it's not my night. I'm not going to win this fight. Colby does not have that shit. You have to kill him. You have to kill him. We saw in that second Usman fight when Usman rocked his shit with that right hand. Obviously, he fucked him up in the first fight too, but in the second fight, drops him. Colby was a zombie out there shooting, just, you know, grinding, just staying in that dogfight position, just literally trying to just survive. There's absolutely no quit in him. So Jorge, in my opinion, has to literally starch Colby to win this fight. Because, in my opinion, even if Jorge lands a big shot, Colby's literally just going to find a leg. Like, I know how it is because at a much lower level, like, I know what that's like. And so, like, for a guy with Colby's, you know, with Colby's durability, with Colby's level of wrestling, with Colby's level of cardio, I don't think Jorge can win this fight without absolutely starching him. And, like, you're only asking me to pay minus 330 when I really don't see a way he loses without getting flash knocked out. I really don't see it. Colby, I'm sure Jorge's at some point of this fight going to land a good shot. And then Colby's going to, he knows he's been hit. Obviously, have they sparred to the point of Jorge trying to knock him out cold? No. So Colby probably will feel punches from Jorge that are harder than any punches like Jorge's ever thrown at him. But I just feel like, you know, Colby's just going to find a leg if that happens. Take him down. Survive. Get his wits back. Grind him out. And every time he takes Jorge down, I don't see Jorge. Jorge doesn't have bad jiu-jitsu, and he doesn't have bad cardio either. He's just not on Colby's level. And I think Colby's just going to grind him. If Jorge gets up, he'll get taken back down. Colby will land volume on the feet once Jorge gets tired, especially in those last couple rounds. It will play out on the feet a little bit more. Obviously, Colby's going to clinch him. He's going to put him up against the cage. He's going to take him down. Jorge will get up. He'll take him back down. And then I think, I honestly think Colby by decision. Maybe a 4th or 5th round if he really gets Jorge tired. But Jorge's a dog. I don't see him, Jorge's not going to want to get finished in this damn fight. So unless Colby, were to get to his back, which Colby's never really been a big submission threat. He's more of a ground and pound and control guy. So I don't really see that. Maybe the ref stops it if he gets him mounted and Jorge's tired and he can't escape or stop the shots. But I don't, maybe that happens late 4th or 5th round. But overall, I think Colby by decision, man. I think Colby 50-45, maybe even 50-44, man. I got Colby as the anchor in my parlays. So what that means is, he's basically the leg 1 to all my 2-leg parlays. So I don't do that often, but I'm very confident in him. So I have Colby and Jamal Hill. Obviously Jamal Hill already won. So that is that was a 118 to 100 bet. All I need is Colby to win that one. Then I have Colby and Kevin Holland from earlier. Then I have Colby and Taguir Ulembekov. And then I have Colby and Sergey Spivak. So those are my bets right now. Looking at some other bets. I'm looking at maybe the under in the Usman Nurmagomedov fight. Because it's pretty much the same as Nurmagomedov inside the distance. I kind of want to see him on the scales. There's a couple other ones I was looking at a little bit. But I'm just not trying to force it. I do think Dustin Jacoby gets it done, but I'm not really trying to force it because I haven't loved what Jacoby's seen. Devontae Smith, 2 strikers, got the size advantage. He's going to throw more volume. But Klein, could definitely knock him out. So that scares me a little bit. Wouldn't bet this fight. Honestly, at this point, I've switched enough in my head to not bet this fight. But, and then really kind of not interested in betting this fight either. So that's why I kind of went with more of a parlay week. Again, I have Colby, I have Colby and Spivak parlayed. I have Colby and Ulembekov parlayed. Colby and Holland parlayed. Colby and Jamal Hill parlayed. And then Rafael Dos Anjos and Marina Rodriguez parlayed. And then I do have that hedge with Greg Hardy, 1st round or 2nd round KO. So those are my bets so far. I'm looking at some other ones too. I will let you guys know on Twitter when I post them or when I make them. I appreciate you watching. Make sure you leave a like, leave a comment. Let me know what bets you're taking. If you like the video, if anything changes you want to see me make, anything like that, come through on Saturday. Watch the fights with me. It's going to be fun. Let's win some money. Good luck. Hope you win some money. And on Sunday, come through. 11 a.m. we start. It pretty much goes all day, every Sunday. We are going to start doing some other cards on Thursday, too. We're going to have 2 a week. But that's going to start next week. But this week, this Sunday, in just a couple days, at 11 a.m. we're starting. And it's going to be going all day. UFC 4, fight night. Some of the best players in the world fighting each other. I'm going to be on commentary. We're going to have a couple other people on commentary. It's going to be a lot of fun. Join the Discord. Check it out. It's a lot of fun. Hit me up if you want to get involved. Love to have you on. Appreciate you watching. Sorry I went a little longer than actually not too long. We kept it under an hour. Bet. Later.